The MCAD was an integral part of the SDA building. I think originally it was a space that was meant for the students to show their artworks.
The thing that was attractive when I took the job, because I said, well, this is my time to be able to see where our education for creativity can actually prosper. How can we use the gallery, or how can we reinvent this space downstairs?
I was very involved with the design of this space. In fact, Ed Calma and I, and a number of other people in the initial planning for the building itself, were quite invested in the idea that the curator should be a leading force in the creation of the space. I'd like to add that it has been unusual for an architect and a curator to work side by side, as Ed and I work here in this project. And it began a series of collaborations with Ed Calma through the decade that followed. It has been a wonderful set of collaborations.
Create this school that could engage with the neighborhood, because it's an evolving neighborhood, and we were hoping that the school would kind of gentrify it and respond to those streets along the sides and create some kind of activity, right, besides commercial activity. And I wanted MCAD to actually engage Dominga because it's a very scaled street. It's sort of a museum responding to that, a completely different scale.
We're not going to just be a school teaching creativity. We're now going to go outside. We're going to make ourselves global, to make sure that there was a vision, that there would be a change in mindset. Because it was important for us to exist as a school, but it is not just a school. It is going to be a different school, because it's going to change people's perspective about what creativity can actually affect lives.
So my initial idea, and the idea that actually I left MCAD with, is the idea of a laboratory where people could just fool around and it won't make a difference whether, the floors were spick and span.
Well, originally it wasn't really for artists. It was really for students to experiment on spaces. They can come up with like architecture experimentations. I didn't think that it would be just dedicated to artists.
But later on, in later conversations, I think the board and the school leadership said that, maybe it's not just for the students, but maybe it should be a museum for contemporary art and design in the Philippines.
I was keen to deliver a space that the students or the artists or whomever was going to use it, they could make a mess. My entire experience with art has been art that was moving a lot. And so this is a space that I thought would allow that movement.
A big part of the requirement was that it be very flexible. And therefore, it's really, if you look at it, it's really just one big, huge space. And you can do anything with it.
What I wanted was a subdividable space, both vertically, but also horizontally if you needed to. You could actually build a piece of building inside this building. Why am I interested in large objects? Why was I interested in large when, as someone who thinks about art and culture, I'm actually quite keen on the small? Here, I have invested a lot of time thinking about the large. And that's because this is a school. And I think that part of our education in art has to deal with scale. And I think that all the registers of scale that you can think of should be available for the experimentation.
Something that would make our students be able to come out of our school knowing that they can face up the world. And that was very important for us.
I am rather proud of this space, and I'm happy it happened, because there is no other space like this.
In fact, I'm happy that it's not just a museum for the students. In fact, it's more now a venue for contemporary art and design in the Philippines and in the region. And it has grown that way, it has panned out that way. I think that's a direction we should continue to pursue.